No, I'm late. Sorry, you're on time. You're looking good. Very well put together. I should introduce myself, I'm sorry. Dr. Zabrensky couldn't be here today. I'm his intern. My name is Shane. But everyone calls me Sugar. Which is a story, but we don't have time. Okay. Let's get the session started. I apologize if I'm a little slow this afternoon. I just ate a big grilled cheese sandwich. It was good. It's a monster. That's a good cheese. Monster. That's some good cheese. Monster. That's some good cheese. I don't know why. Why are we here? Isn't that the question? Why are we here? Such a big question. So many answers. For learning. Nobody knows. Nobody knows with empirical certainty. But this afternoon we have an answer. A simple answer. Why are we here? One reason. Rorschach. 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 One ink blot. I show you the ink blot. You yell out the first things you see. And then I give you my zipper is broken. With my belt. But I thought I was late. Rorschach, tell me what you see. Just yell it out, don't you?
Spider.
A spider, spider, a butterfly, one more.
Frog.
Frog. A spider, butterfly, frog. Spiders crawl. Butterflies fly. Frogs jump. They're all animals. I think I know this. This is an interesting one. My reading glasses. Old. Spider, butterfly, frog. TED Talk syndrome. Oh, wrong one. head tops. Oh, here it is. This one's a little difficult. In part because you may be offended if I presume to know how you feel. Unless I get it right. In which case you may be comforted. At such a risk, I will proceed with my 2 semesters to a certified professional diagnosis. You're confused. You're full of intense, conflicting emotions. It's because you care. Because you want things to be good, and you want to do good for everyone. Not so much love. And so much frustration. Anxiety. Anger. Rage. And why not? You just go down the lists. ICE, now SCOTUS, Russiagate, police brutality, the administration's condoning of violent racism and misogyny. Maybe you know how the world banking system really works, or how rampant is sex trafficking of women and children, or how much war there is right now. Of course, I could go on, but I don't need to, because you already know. Which just goes to show how obvious the condition is. Mass insanity. Mass depression. You may be preoccupied wondering, where's the humane in humanity? The civilization. It's a condition that has an interesting nuance, and the nuance has a name. Glasses. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see here, but I have a picture of my 3 dogs. Actually, it's a drawing. I commissioned a professional artist to draw portraits of my 3 dogs. And then I had that drawing turned into a high-resolution photograph, which I had specially printed on this hat. There's my labs! There's my boys! I love those bastards. Unconditional love. Unless I don't feed them on time. Oh, my glasses. Yeah. I have conjunctivitis or something? Jesus. So sticky. Okay. The name of the nuance. Oh yeah, I forgot it's German. Lieben, schnaben, stick, freaked, and fighten. That's one word. German. Take it easy with the syllables. Loosely translated, it means tangled empathy, or empathy in a knot. Because you know what makes this insanity go is just a lack of empathy. Right? People looking at others as others. People unable to see themselves in everyone, regardless. Regardless, gender, sexual orientation, race, ask guys, dog or cat people. You can go on, but I don't need to, because it seems that if there is an answer, a way to stop the insanity, it seems it must include empathy. But how do you empathize with assholes? The jackass on the street who now feel carte blanche to just harass anybody who's not white. The white supremacists, the sexual abusers, the 60+ million or whatever who voted for and continue to support. I don't even need to finish the sentence. The policymakers, the corporates who love that war is just good business. The people who say rough instead of roof. How do you empathize with that? And if I may for a moment cross my 3 semesters to a certified professional line and get personal for a moment. But I guess I got a little personal already. There's my boys! I confront this issue when I see pictures of House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. I know he's just a tool, and I know there's the big Oompa Loompa, but it's pictures of Mitch McConnell that do it for me. With his doughy fucking face. His neutral, befuddled expression of, I'm just a patriot doing my best. It's such a false front. It's like alt-right fanatics getting all preppy and polos. Or back in the day, European colonialists insisting on proper manners while they murder millions. It's such bullshit with Grandpa Mitch. Just innocently trying his best while hiding a sadistic, sociopathic soul, worshipping the dark forces in the name of family values. I mean, for me, I look at pictures of him and I wonder, is this a real person? Are any of these fuckers real people? Then I remember, empathy in a knot. Tangled empathy. Hence, the central questions for this condition. My glasses! I'm always looking for my glasses! I never put my glasses in the same place ever! Oh, there they are! Jesus. These glasses are useless! Can we create a humane and civil society while hating them, those others? How do we empathize with, care about, truly love thine enemy until they are not the enemy, without giving up our political and social agendas? Is it possible? Is it necessary? That's why you've come here. To hear my 4 semesters to a certified professional answer. Part 2 is sort of similar, but a lot different. On the lines of empathy, if empathy is a question of opening your heart, I think it's also a question of exercising your imagination. So this is a little game I like to play to exercise my imagination under pressure. It's very unimaginatively called improv poetry. And to give you a little background, I am fortunate to be part of a poetry collective that we call Poems While You Wait. We go around town at different events with manual typewriters and write poems on commission, 15 to 20 minutes. The spearhead of Poems While You Wait happens to be here, Kathleen Rooney. So thank you, Kathleen Rooney. Check her out, author. And Martin Say, her husband, is a great novel too. Definitely check them out. What I've discovered, like while I'm writing these poems, 15, 20 minutes, is you have to think quick, process happens, and I thought it might be a fun challenge to try and articulate the process while I'm writing the poem here. One stipulation, this is a terrible way to write a poem. Because as many of you creative people know, when you're doing something, you're creating something, you just gotta go. You just do it. When you get stuck, maybe you stop, you think about it. But it's a process of not thinking and just going and then reflecting. This is all a lot of reflecting, so it's a different kind of poem. So let's get started. May I have a suggestion of anything at all, any word that comes to mind? Could be
Ginkgo biloba.
Say it again?
Ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba. So I also, that's a great one, by the way. Thank you. Is that Jason? Jason is doing likes. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, that's me. That's the sound for me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name. What's his name? This is Pete.
Pete. Ginkgo biloba. Maybe that's. Also, I tend to talk very fast when I do this because I'm trying to stay ahead of my thoughts because I get blocked. It's a little hard to hear someone talk relentlessly for like 15 minutes or so I apologize, but there's no way around it. So, when you start, when you're inspired to create something, you usually already have an impetus of some kind, some idea. In this case, I have no attachment to Ginkgo biloba, so I'm just going to see what I can free associate with Ginkgo biloba. First thing that comes to mind is the tree and the shape of the leaf. And I'm going to talk a little louder, sorry. The shape of the leaf, which I've been told is actually, the shape of the leaf is one of the oldest shapes that vegetation has created. And it's like this, it's a fan-like shape with like ridges at the top. And it's green, obviously. Ginkgo biloba is also it's also the herb that's supposed to help memory. That's kind of interesting when I think about it now because the oldest shape and memory. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything with that, but we're just talking a bunch of stuff right now. Pete. Pete is a funny name. I don't know why. It's just Peter, penis, Pete. There's Pete again. I don't know why. I just like the name Pete. And Ginkgo biloba. Let's see if there's anything else. So those are some free associations. I have a personal association. Once I was in Galena, which is, many of you know, is in Illinois. And that's when I learned about the shape of the leaf and its age. Because I was with the family member of a friend, and he told me, and he's usually full of a lot of BS, and he's usually just like, this is how things are, and he has this attitude of like he was an electrician and he's telling everybody what to do. So I heard him say it, and I was like, that's probably not true. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, he said something that was right. That's good. So there's a little something there. Now, those are a couple associations that possibly can be in this poem. The fun thing about writing, in my view, is once you write the line, it may or may not relate to that, and you throw everything away. So it would be good to start with a line, wouldn't it? Let's just start with a line. Sometimes things come to me, and sometimes things don't. Ginkgo, the lizard. It's not a lizard, that's the gecko. Ginkgo is not the gecko. I'm just going to say that. That's line number one. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it matters. Ginkgo is not the gecko. So now somebody is saying something. Let's say this is an important poem. Let's say this is something I really want to talk about. And I'm saying ginkgo is not the gecko. I'm saying something very obvious. And obviously the two words are somewhat like hominids, somewhat like that. Ginkgo is not the gecko. Why do I'm wasting your time to make that distinction? I'm the poet, I published this, and I'm wasting your time to let you know that ginkgo is not the gecko. You know that. Both are ancient. Okay. And I'm not going to say this is the most eloquent poem, but they're both ancient. Let's go there. Line number 2. Ginkgo is not the gecko. They're both ancient. Now what happens? Now what happens? So now I've pointed out a commonality. Ginkgo is not the gecko. They're both ancient. Who cares? That's something I like to do. Why don't I really? Who cares? Tell me something why I should care. Ginkgo is not the gecko. But so now I feel like because I don't really know where to go next, I'm thinking more conceptually as a conceptual move. So conceptually as a conceptual move. Like, so I distinguish the two. Ginkgo is not the gecko. They're both ancient. That's a similarity. Let's just say a contrast. I don't know if I have a point here, if anything, but let's just say a contrast, because I just pointed out a similarity for the sake of it to generate some lines, and usually there's lots of editing going on in the poem. Ginkgo is not the gecko, but they're both ancient. They're both ancient, but they're both ancient. Forget the but. They're both ancient. Ginkgo is not the gecko. They're both ancient. They're both green. I'm not going to say that. Oh, what's the difference? What's the difference? What is the difference between a ginkgo and a gecko? One has good memory. One is a tree. Let's not think so literally. Let's think something other than being literal. One has veins. What is a ginkgo tree? Yeah, it's a tree. It spreads its leaves. It does what trees do. It's a memory. Okay, memory. Memory is always fascinating because it's so strange. We like the ginkgo tree because potentially it might improve our memory. And we like our memories because it so much shapes our identity. So let's say ginkgo is a key to us feeling like ourselves. And what's a gecko? So ginkgo is the key that feels like ourselves. And a gecko, I think the gecko's, is it the lizard that it runs? It's like a big, like a thing? No, is that on it? What is that?
Gecko, that's like a basilisk.
It's like a what?
It's like a basilisk that you don't want to run it.
Oh, the basilisk.
Geckos stick glass.
Yeah. Oh, a gecko is a pet. It's the little pet. It's a cut different. Okay, so then a gecko is also something that we in our narcissistic, self-involved human psyches are always grabbing for shit for us. Is a pet. We like to amuse ourselves. So a ginkgo is something that helps us hold on to our identity, and a gecko is something that pleases us. Like we want a circus, a little, like we want entertainment, and we use other organisms to entertain us. Man, we're assholes. We're jerks. So I should write a line. Okay, we only have so much time. We need 2 more lines and the poem is done. Whatever. Ginkgo is not a gecko. They're both ancient. What's the last one? Oh, no, I haven't done the 3rd line yet. Okay. Ginkgo is not a gecko. They're both ancient. Okay, now why sedated? Because I just found myself doing this and it was kind of calming you down. And then if you think about ginkgo and as I'm approaching it as a way to support your identity, our identity is kind of like a sedative. This is who we are. This is who I am. It's more fearful. It's more anxiety creating. Losing my words. It makes you scared to break out and do new things. So your identity is sedative. It's like a sedative. So what did I say? The one keeps me sedated. So let's change what a gecko is. And before I do that, because I'm going to say this last line and then we're done. there's a lot of context here. This is what I find interesting about reading and creating, talking to the artist, reading it by itself. There's a lot of context here. So as you read the poem, as you hear the poem, you know the context that created it. If you were to read it without any of this context, you might have not associate this with what I'm saying at all, unless there are clues and I'm really pushing what this context is. That's, I think, an interesting difference between like kind of conceptual art and more traditional forms of art. Is like how much is contained within the unit itself. How much you have to have a lot of backstory to really like understand it, to see what they're doing. So that's just something I want to point out. So the one keeps me sedated. So let's change Gecko, because Gecko keeps me sedated, and I personally find an ongoing conflict, fork in the road between staying the same, my identity, this is what I'm doing, and breaking out and trying something that's unusual and not me. I think that's a common experience people have. So let's say a gecko is the opposite. Gecko is something frenetic. Let's say it's a gecko in the wild. A gecko in the wild. Something frenetic. Frenetic in the wild. A gecko in the wild. Another move that's really easy, I think in poem, not easy, but a common one is, you don't know what you're doing, just say something sensory to make it real in the physical realm. Like, it's easy to get abstract, especially if your personality like mine is more cerebral. Abstractions I enjoy, but having something physical at the end, that, especially when it's at the end, it gives it the weight to sort of being symbolic. And let's just do it. We're not talking. Let's just go. Gecko is not a gecko. They're both ancient. The one keeps me sedated. The other, I know, clunky. The other blue green patina eyes, the flitting eyes. I'm seeing the gecko. Fuck the gecko. Forget the literal sense. Forget the literal sense. The frenetic, the in the trees, the reptilian, the scales. That's the ball. No, that's good. What? The other. So again, we're going for contrast. The one keeps me sedated. The other. Oh, the other's just creeping up on me. The other. Why do people like reptiles, by the way? They're so fucking creepy. They're like creeping. That's not friendly. The other is not for. The other's sitting on my shoulder. It's the other is. This makes no sense. The other is patina on my shoulder. That makes no sense. Because the reason I'm thinking patina is because I'm seeing patina is when you have a statue, bronze or copper, and then it gets oxidized or there's rain and it forms that kind of greenish blue color. And it's beautiful. I love patina. And I'm seeing the gecko as patina. So let's say the gecko is a statue. The gecko is a copper statue. We're going to go with that. How are we going to say it? The one keeps me sedated. The other in its green patina. The other with its green patina. I'm not sure. The other with its green patina weighs on my shoulder. Oh, it's hard. The end is so hard. So I'm going to say it, and it's going to be an unfinished poem ready for a minute, because time is up. I'd like now to present to you a poem we just wrote together. Gecko Paloma, called Untitled in Progress. Gecko is not a gecko. They're both ancient. The one keeps me sedated. The other, with its green patina, sits heavily on my shoulder. Thank you.